This is Business Inspires, the podcast of the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership. To run a successful business, you need resources, valuable connections, and community recognition. Business Inspires will provide you with the tools, resources, and examples to inspire you to create the business you're envisioning. This episode is brought to you by the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership. Our innovative and active chamber is successful because of our smart and engaged members who cultivate our strong business community. With more than 60 years as an integral part of the Grandview, Upper Arlington, and Marble Cliff communities, the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership is dedicated to a single purpose: the success of the business community. And Grandview Heights. Grandview Heights seamlessly combines timeless charm with a modern vision. Immerse yourself in the captivating blend of tradition and innovation that defines them.
Welcome to Business Inspires, where our goal is to inspire you to create the business you envision. I'm Brett Johnson, Tri-Village Chamber Partnership Board Member and the owner of Circle 270 Media Podcast Consultants. Thank you for following and subscribing to the podcast. With me, as always, is Katie Ellis, President and CEO of the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership and co-host of the podcast. Great to be here again with you, Katie.
So good to be back as always, Brett. And today we have Daniel Hamm. He is the new owner of Winans in the Grandview Yard. Welcome.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Very good. So happy to have you here today. So if you could just jump right in, tell us a little bit about your background at first, and then what about Winans as a brand made you want to invest in one of their franchises?
Absolutely. So I'm originally from Rochester, New York. I moved here 19 years ago. So when I first moved here, I actually moved into the Grandview area, very familiar with it. Lived there for 10 years before bouncing around Columbus and then back to Grandview for another 3 years. During that tenure, I actually, my second trip into Grandview, I started going to Winans. So while I have a heavy background in restaurants, my first job was actually in banquet serving back home. And then I moved into the kitchen. I was a fry cook at a chain restaurant. We'll leave their name out. But as far as that goes, hospitality's always been in my blood. The irony is that right out of high school, my dad actually suggested I go into the restaurant management world. And I was like, Dad, there's no way. I'm not going to end up at McDonald's. Like, that's not my dream. I'm going to go work in pro sports. And I kept coming back. I've actually worked for 6 pro sports teams, including the Blue Jackets and the Columbus Destroyers when they were here. But I kept going back to the restaurant world because I just love service. I love the whole approach to service of the people. And I ended up graduating from Ohio State in 2012 in hospitality management. So where a lot of people bounce around, they find themselves being successful in the restaurant world. It's been my basically mission to do what I do now. So back to 2020 when COVID hit and I was moved back to Grandview and with my then girlfriend, now wife, she introduced me to Winans. And while I always wanted to open up my own restaurant, I was very anti-franchise in a way. It was going to take a very special franchise for me to want to go do their system instead of create my own, because I have a very creative mind. That being said, Winans kind of checked off a lot of boxes. I've been a regular there for 6 years. So when the opportunity arose and the previous owner offered to sell it, he reached out to me and it just became a natural fit. So, it's been a important part of my life. I had my engagement party there. We even got engagement photos there because it was a spot that my wife and I hung out a lot while we lived in the Grandview area. Since we have moved to Pickerington, just because we now have 2 kids and a dog, a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. We also have another one on the way. So we did move to Pickerington just to get a little bit more of a yard and some space that way. But Grandview holds a near and dear place to our hearts.
Yeah, that's interesting that you were okay with the franchise idea, even though your creativity and you kind of told you no, don't do this. And we've talked to franchise owners, also a franchise specialist about that. That's what you have to figure out when you go into a franchise or build your own. Is the template what you like? That's interesting that it kind of sold you that I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I have a lot of different ideas, and who knows, that those might end up being opened, and hopefully, if they do, they'll be in Grandview as well. But
Yeah.
the reality is that there's something about that location that really hit me. And even when I would live in Pickerington, if I knew that I had a day where I just wanted to sit at a coffee shop, I would drive the half hour to that Winans instead of finding something out here, just because that environment just it checked off a lot of boxes for my comfortability, my just relaxed. And it's kind of like Cheers a little bit. Everyone, they have a lot of good regulars and a lot of people come in, and it's nice to just have that community.
So you are going to close up just for a little bit because of some refresh. Could you talk about what's going on?
Yeah, so this week we're actually closing. So we'll be closed until October 10th, Friday, and we're giving it a new light, if you will. So it's got a very old-fashioned wine bar vibe, and we're getting some more colors in there instead of just the white and gray, and we'll have some new options there, as we actually have a new cold brew system that just got installed this past week. So we'll have a higher consistency and some options that will probably be rolled out that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet with that. But the other one is that we're going to liven up the place, new fixtures. But the big thing is that we're going to have some cozier seating. A lot of things with the coffee shop, you don't always just want it to be super businessy. We'll have, one end dedicated more to the people that want to be sitting, working a laptop. But we're also going to have a more communal space, some comfy chairs. I do have a love seat on order. It is on back order, so that won't be there for the grand opening. But that's kind of the vibe we're going for, is that we want people to be able to come there and just have a cup of coffee, have some conversation, and really just it's. I think my goal there is also opens up the nighttime. Like, I just want to go hang out with someone, right? But we don't want a full meal. We don't necessarily need to go to a bar where it's loud. We just want to go catch up with a friend. It's going to create that space that you don't really have in that area.
That's awesome. And a lot of work as well. Do you anticipate having any challenges just doing this refresh?
With the refresh, no. Just kind of making sure that people know that we're even the previous owner, they were very community involved. They did a lot of the Grandview hops. They did if anything, I just want people to know that we're going to be even more involved. It's a big passion project for me. Obviously, being the fact that it's been a core part of my life for 6 years. And Grandview's been a core part of my life for 19. I want to be supportive of the schools. I'm already trying to work with Ohio Health and the Goddard School that are right there. And in previous roles, where I've been high up, I've did partnerships with schools. So I just want to be in the community, in the thick of it, and make sure that people realize that this is going to be a good community space. The trials and tribulations of learning what it is to be an owner. Every time I turn around, I feel like I've gotten the grasp of something. Another hiccup comes up, but that would have been the case if I didn't do a franchise. If I, in any business that you open, that you're going to have that. So
yeah, exactly. It's about the menu updates, any new chocolate lines, seasonal flavors, coffee blends, partnerships, or specialty offerings. I mean, can you give us a little bit of insight on what's going on?
Yeah, so we actually just released last week, and It's not officially on the menu, but if you come in, you can definitely take advantage of it. Taylor Swift latte called the Showgirl.
I saw that.
Interesting.
That is a pumpkin latte with marshmallow and then whipped cream and orange sparkle sprinkles on top. I'm more of a mocha drinker myself, but I've actually become quite fond of the pumpkin drinks now. Shockingly, never thought I would have converted, but that's what happens when you start trying every coffee known to man. And we are going into our busy season. We've got a lot of holiday chocolate boxes and gift packages that you can order. If you swing in, we will actually have a guide that you can look at. We can help you order. If you guys are allowed, I can share a link that they can order directly from this episode.
Yeah.
And all that would go and help support my specific location in the Grandview Yard. That being said, my favorite ones that come up this year, although I'll be honest, at the end of the day, my favorite drink is a peppermint mocha. My wife makes fun of me for it. I drink it 12 months around. I always do a hot. It'll be 4th of July, 95 degrees out. I'll get a hot peppermint mocha.
That is great. But I was going to say, it's very manly to have peppermint.
It's refreshing.
I appreciate her teasing you at the hot bit when it's, so hot outside. That is an extreme liking of that.
Yes. And it's one of those that I do look forward to anything peppermint when it comes around. So I'm excited for that. My favorite treat that we have outside of our Buckeyes, we have milk chocolate covered Oreos. And those are there year round and they are amazing. The one thing that pops up in different times of the season are chocolate covered Nutter Butters.
No.
So I'm looking forward to those coming back into season. And then the other one that's going to be really unique to our holiday season this year is we're actually going to have a whole line of hot cocoa. Like you'll actually be able to just come in and it's more for gifts, right? There'll be packets on the wall and there'll be several of them. And then we've got little snowman marshmallows that you can that are full-size marshmallows that you can get along to go with the hot cocoa.
Nice. You're set. I mean, the holidays are set. If you one-stop shop.
Yeah. I mean, well, another thing that we've rolled out recently is actually greeting cards too. So it truly is. If you want to stop in Black Friday or throughout the holiday season, last minute gifts on the 24th, you can come in, you can get your greeting card, you can get your chocolate, and you can get recaffeinated with the coffee. So
that's perfect. And thank you so much for sharing about ordering. That was not something that was on my mind whatsoever. I was just picking around from what was there, but that's good. Giving me some foresight into making some goodie bags for the holidays. So thanks for sharing that.
That's probably it's our busiest time of the season, but it's one of the greatest ones too. Like I started off with, service is everything to me. Being able to be community driven, giving back to the community. It's not lip service. That's the stuff that gets me up. That's the stuff that gets me excited. That's the thing that gets me caffeinated without the caffeine. So that amplify that, right? That being said, it's that's what we do is chocolates and coffee. And so if you are having a special occasion, on Valentine's Day, Christmas, just someone's birthday, you can get them chocolates from anywhere. But if you get them a locally owned and manufactured, fresh made chocolate, it's not the same as getting something from the grocery store or Target. You're going to get something that was made here in Ohio. It's the freshest. Actually, I gave a couple Buckeyes to a friend the other day that said they haven't had Winans before, and he's not stop texting me. This isn't like oh, you're my friend, let me make you feel good, right? He won't shut up about how good the Buckeyes are because the peanut butter is more creamy because it's made with that extra touch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back to the peppermint mocha for a second. The fact is that if you want that special touch, you can get mochas at any coffee shop. And mochas are, again, my favorite. That's what probably one of the reasons why I've stuck to Winans so closely is if you're a mocha drinker, you're not going to get a better mocha in the state of Ohio because we are a chocolate company and a coffee company. That chocolate is our own syrup. We specialize in the production of chocolate. We specialize in the entire process. So when you get a mocha from us, it's not your run of the mill that you get at every other coffee shop.
So what milestones would be any indicators of success for you, let's say in that first 6 to 12 months?
Yeah. So I think that if I had to have a really good solid milestone, is that 12 months from now, I'm getting the same regulars in, but that I've grown the relationship with the community to where I have more regulars. My biggest goal would be to, again, showcase what we can do to help build the community, be involved in charities, be involved with the Chamber of Commerce, but support other business openings, and really just become that staple coffee shop, and just continue growing.
So what's something you've learned so far in this experience that you didn't expect?
How easily an espresso machine can explode on you.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, weren't expecting that one. When you're frothing milk, and if you're just at the wrong angle and the air is just shooting out, and it can go high and it can go far. There was at one point where between that and then the actual rinser, I had a new employee that was pushing down on the rinser and didn't realize that she was not in the center of it, and it shot water clear across the room where I was sitting working on stuff. So it is truly the definition of expect the unexpected.
Wow.
So, but it's those learning curves and learning to become a barista that definitely keep things interesting.
Daniel, thank you so much for your time and sharing a little bit about your journey so far. We do have a ribbon cutting October 24th at 4 p.m. So you'll be able to check things out. And anything else that you want to share before we go?
Yeah, not only do we have the ribbon cutting on the 24th, we'll be doing a lot of different fun things throughout the week. But the biggest one I want to make sure everyone knows is that on the 25th, we're actually going to do our grand refresh. So the first 25 people in line at 8 a.m. when we open will receive coffee for a year, free coffee for a year. They'll get a voucher for coffee every week of the year. And the first person in line will also get 5,000 bonus loyalty points so that they'll be able to redeem even more. And we'll be doing giveaways and raffles throughout the day. So if you got a kid's soccer practice in the morning and you can't make it, or life just you oversleep, make sure you stop out throughout that day because we'll have a bunch of things. And the other one is that we'll be giving away samples of chocolate and coffee all day long. So you'll be able to try any of our hot brews and get a free piece of chocolate to sample throughout the day.
Yeah, listener, if you've never been there, this is a great opportunity to do it. Yeah, figure it out and get there in some fashion that day because that's going to be a great experience. Yeah, listeners, thank you for joining us, and don't forget to check out our podcast page on the Tri-Village Chamber website. Look for the podcast tab at the top of the homepage, and tell us what you think about this or any of our other episodes at info@chamberpartnership.org.
Business Inspires is a production of the Tri-Village Chamber Partnership and Circle 270 Media Podcast Consultants.